I'm gonna
Even
figure
if
it
you
out.
don't know that I have audio?
No, we have no. The only thing I'm confused about is the Mori thing. Like you're showing up fine. It's the pug cam that's throwing me off here.
Look, he heard you're starting it, and now look at him.
Yeah, he's immediately down.
He's like collapsed.
It wasn't like that before.
I just can't believe he did that.
You're a failure, Maury.
All right, if you want to start it.
Well, do we have a choice now? We're losing precious Maury time.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, it's already on. I just have to go into the
streaming
thing.
Get the link
change.
so I can open it up.
Well, I'm just trying to get to Creator Studio so I can change the name of the live stream and update it because I can't do that until I start the live stream.
Maury, come on, open your eyes. Goodness.
I doubt his camera's even working.
Come on. Gotta rub his shoulders and get him back in
Are you like circulating his blood flow again? PugCast episode 15.
Here, I'll prop his head up.
Pugnation.
It's the head prop.
Pugnation.
Do you have it on camera?
No, not yet. I'm renaming the stream, Dad. I gotta do things one at a time.
Here we go.
Okay, are you just trying to find different things to prop his chin up? That's great.
There you go.
That is gold. Is he putting his chin there voluntarily?
He is.
Wow, that's actually incredible. All right, you can get the link off of the YouTube. Oh wait, yeah, I have to post it. That's right. Oh.
Well, we are missing our video goal.
Well, trust me, I'm working on it. Don't worry. Need to see that. Need to see the puggy face. Susan Marcus says, "How's school, Calvin? I'm not in school right now, so it's pretty good."
School's excellent when I'm not in it.
Exactly.
All right, that means I've got to
Oh, good grief!
remember how I do this here again.
This doesn't work.
What the?
I mean, it works, but it's not working right now when I need it.
The camera?
Yeah.
Well, Maury's not doing anything now, so.
PugCast episode 15.
His eyes are open, so we're losing valuable Maury time.
Should I say something spicy to stir up our viewers?
No, just work on the problem.
Well, the problem's not going to get fixed, probably.
It's got to get fixed. We went out and
like,
bought
like,
that
like,
thing today.
I don't know what I was doing earlier that made it work. It just worked, but now it's not working.
Try it. Can you unplug it and replug it in? Or,
Okay,
yeah,
okay. Bear in mind, I've also done a different thing here. So if this works, it's either this thing or this thing. That I just did.
All right. What we're working on is
a dedicated pug cam.
a dedicated pug
Your
cam.
camera is Dad. Just kind of angle it however you want.
All right.
Just hold still. Yeah, good enough. And now my hair's a mess, and it's dusty in here. I'm gonna have cholera from all this dust.
Yeah, nice to see the puggy face. Well, our dedicated camera is not working yet. It was working earlier, so.
You know what the worst part is?
What?
In order to have another shot at this, you know what I have to do?
What?
I'd have to end the stream and start it again.
Well, we got to get Maury on camera. He's the reason anybody tunes in.
Yeah, I know he is, but it's like, look, Elgato, make your thing work, okay? How much money did we spend on this thing again?
I don't know. I can't remember.
130, 140?
Yeah, something like that. About $150.
If I pay $140 for something like I plug this into my computer and I plug a camera into it, and the camera works only half the time, you're doing it wrong, okay? My camera's right there. Power's being fed to it.
All right,
it's plugged in. It's
if
receiving
it doesn't work,
the image in the Elgato app.
Here's
okay?
my episode solution.
It is working every place except for OBS. And we can't use another webcam.
Why not?
Because this port's being taken out by Camlink. If we unplug it, sure. But I want this to work.
Okay, well.
out of principle.
Yeah, I know, but I could wake Mori up and then, for proof that he actually is with us. Let me look at these questions, though, first. When's my third fiction book coming out? Well, it would be nice to say Christmas of 2019. That's a guess. Who knows? But I'd like it to be in 2019, by the end of 2019 anyway. Oh, let's see. Where's Susan? Wow, okay. Enjoying chapter 2, good. The Angels book. By the way, I'm assuming everybody that's tuning into this knows, but my Angels book shipped on Amazon on the 19th, so that was 4 days ago. And, from what I've heard so far, people are liking it. Just a little bit of a commercial there. And I know this is going to sound kind of goofy and maybe like, oh, you got to be kidding. But what's different about this book and other books on angels, and there aren't that many of them, there are only a handful, is that I'm trying to give people a biblical view.
Okay, I think I got this.
In other words, I'm not including talk of tradition at all. It's Old Testament, Second Temple Judaism, and New Testament. How the material on angels feeds from one era, one body of literature into the next, and how all those things inform each other. So I'm not doing anything with tradition except sort of blowing holes in it. But all your other books about angels essentially do it with the English Bible and then have some traditional stuff mixed in there. That's not what this is. So it is different. And the Demons book will be even more different than anything else in print. I mean, it will be actually totally different than anything else in print. So let's see here. Yeah, I'll put him in my lap if this doesn't work.
I think I figured it out.
Okay.
I'm going to switch to a different angle. And wake Mori up a bit, Tell me how this looks, chat.
Do we have Mori?
Should.
Is he live? Well, I mean, he is live. Yeah. If you need that cardboard prop under his chin, we can use that too. See, now he doesn't want to do it for you.
Get your chin.
See, he was doing it for me. Okay.
Fine, let's think soft. I'll give us something softer. This is also blue, so it'll get keyed out, which means that you'll just your face will just. Mori, please work with pink for a change. Mori, I'm picking you here. Chin up, Mori.
Chin up, Mori.
Put your chin here.
He's just hiding behind it.
He's hiding behind the blue screen.
Okay, I'll get his attention. We brought in the Mori has new treats here. We'll make the bag sound. Is it phasing him?
Mori, you're a communist.
Come on,
Mori, you're a flat earther.
Oh, there we go. Okay, Mori has we'll put this on the camera. Cage-free dog treats. He likes these.
The problem is that Mori's so low that he's not actually in frame because my camera can't. Actually, maybe my camera can tilt forward a little more because now we got this massive stapler. Yeah.
Well, move it back, then you'll get more of the view in it.
Yeah, but then the edge of the blue screen will be in frame.
Oh, that's all right.
Then the illusion will be shattered.
We're improvising now.
Most of his bed is visible. If he was just doing anything but just barely peeking. More, you're not in the trenches of Normandy. You can look up.
Okay, I might have a solution for this. Where's that blue towel? It's over by you. Yeah, hand me the blue towel.
All right, Kobe.
Okay, let's try it.
What's he doing, chat? Let's see.
This is like in football, a neck roll.
A neck roll?
There you go.
Oh wow! Dang! Look at that pug. He's swole.
And it's even blue.
On the video it looks white.
He looks kind of majestic now.
He does.
Look at him.
By the way, that gray line above him isn't the chroma key messing up. It's just no. It's actually not the chroma key messing up. It's the.
That's like the perfect view. Look at that. Wow. We're gonna have to use that towel like every week.
So swole, so strong.
Yeah.
Dang, Mori.
Oh, let's see. Yes.
Also,
somebody said no Mori. I'm out of here. Yeah.
Also, I'm not tired. I'm just frustrated with all the stuff going on behind the scenes.
Well,
we haven't been doing these in a while, Dad. We haven't done one of these for a while. Why
That's
not, Dad?
True. Well, because we were traveling.
No, you were traveling like every.
No, I was traveling, and then we actually though did travel together to Washington D.C.
So one of the 50 weeks that we missed, I was gone on.
No, most of the time we missed was because we had the garage torn apart.
Yeah.
Because we had to replace our garage door.
Yeah.
Mori
backed the car up into the garage.
For reasons we will not specify.
Mori's asleep. What's he gonna do? Sue me?
It was look how comfortable he is.
Wow.
They're getting a good look at his face. He's staring right at me. I don't know if that's like a stare of approval or a stare of disapproval.
Do you see anything but disapproval in Mori in general?
This is like in a baseball game where the two dugouts like have one guy that just stare down at each other, like whoever moves first loses. No, we had our garage torn apart, so it's put back together now. We got a new garage door, and so
Dad has a new background, and it looks pretty.
We're
nice.
in business, but we did take a trip to DC.
I still have. Well, my background's still the American flag, but since it's so zoomed in and so cropped, it kind of looks like bacon.
Oh.
Just a little.
Well, mine looks like I'm in a honeycomb or something that's gray.
It looks like it's just like black mosaic tiles behind you.
Yeah. Okay, what was the best part about the DC trip, Calvin?
That mac and cheese I had that one time.
The best part of going to Washington, D.C. was the mac and cheese you had at one place. Like, for real.
Yeah. No, probably visiting Matthew. That was neat.
Okay, yeah. Calvin got to see one of his online friends out in D.C.
Xbox friends who's a PugCast connoisseur.
Yeah.
I got to meet his pug. Doug and his
That's
other
right.
pug,
He had a pug, and I only met. Which one did I meet? Did I meet Gizmo or I met Gizmo?
No. You met Doug.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Gizmo. Okay, here's the thing about Gizmo. He's a pug, right? But he's got like a regular snout, so he doesn't look like a pug.
No, well, I met the one I met. That looked like a pug.
Yeah.
In the car.
You met Doug. That was Doug.
All right. And it's not Doug the Pug of internet fame. This is a different Doug the Pug.
Well, everyone who has a pug wants to name their pug Doug. It's like, it rhymes. We're so funny. And then that's like the only thought they put into
There's a question here. The Angels book will be on Logos, I assume. Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe assumption. It'll be in Logos format. Let's see here.
Hey, Dad.
Reading the Silmarillion and the Angels book at the same time. Boy, that's good.
You know what else we can do, Dad?
What?
Okay. I'm going to disable the blue screen for a moment.
I don't think Mori has blinked since I put that towel under him.
His eyes are glazing over.
His right eye just twitched a little bit.
That's great.
I wonder what that means.
I'm gonna disable the blue screen for a moment. All right, now, okay, guys, check this out. I have a proper camera here, so you know what that means? It means I can zoom and unzoom.
Yep. That's why we have this new setup. We have more control over how much of Mori you see and what kind of clarity of Mori you get. Since he is the talent. And speaking of talent, I assume you all have seen the Angels commercial, the commercial that the publisher did, where Mori is in the commercial that we made at work at Logos, Faith Life. If you have not seen that, you can go up to my Facebook page, not the author page and not the Naked Bible group, but my personal Facebook page on the timeline. I think I'm using the correct terms here. And you'll see a link to the video, or you'll be able to play the video anyway. But yes, Mori, that was a big day at work when we brought Mori into work, and he got to autograph various objects for his fans, and they did refer to him as the talent.
He is the talent.
Yeah, he is the talent.
They call him that because it's true.
I see everybody familiar in here. I don't mention the Norse gods and Unseen Realm because it's about the biblical world. So, but the general question, the biblical writers believe that the gods were real. So that is the answer, and there's a lot of that in the book. Let's see here. Book on demons. Can you do biography on Mori after the book?
Dad, can I write Mori's autobiography?
Sure, go ahead.
Sorry, can I?
I know Maury's life can't get much richer, but it is actually going to get a little richer in a week. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, the Mori mythos will be expanded slightly.
Well, it'll be a new chapter. It'll be a new
Infinity War
It'll be a new chapter though in Maury's life, because what happens in a week? You want to tell everybody?
No, I'm not going to tell anyone.
All right, 1 week from today,
Mori will have a new child.
He'll have a sibling. We pick up our black pug 1 week from today. We will not be doing a PugCast 1 week from today, though. It'll take a little bit longer because I have to stay a couple extra days
Can I still live stream
in
something
Oregon
on your channel
if you want
while
to.
you're gone?
Yeah.
But you have to.
Well, no, wait a minute, because we have that big.
What?
We have that big intro for the new pug.
Yeah.
So you can't show him before we do the big reveal.
It's like I would love to just have like
I still don't think he's blinked.
It would be like a 12-hour live stream of just Mori like this.
Yeah, how long can Mori go without blinking?
Let's find out.
I think we are finding. He's like literally staring at the ceiling.
He's like a
staring at
fish.
his face.
I think he might actually be staring at that light.
He's getting hypnotized by the light. Yeah, Susan, he is majestic.
He almost blinked.
Yeah.
Mori, blink. It's bad for your eyes. Mori, he's staring right at the lights.
I
We
think
gotta stop him.
Derek, the only breed more disapproving than the pug is the dachshund. Yeah. Oh. See, that's cheating. He needs to blink on his own.
Mori hasn't learned how to blink yet.
Mori is, like I said, Mori's going to get a sibling a week from today. And we have a big reveal on the PugCast planned for him, for the new pug, just so that you can see Maury's reaction, how Maury reacts to having
in the film adaptation of Mori's life.
Yeah, in the family.
The new pug would be played by who played Thanos. Thanos in Infinity War. It would be Thanos. That's who I would want to play Norman.
He kind of does look like Thanos, really, if you get real honest about it.
Thanos pug.
The question, have I done lectures on paganism? No, I have not. Danny says, I have a Great Dane pup. Oh, boy. I have friends in North Carolina, and they have an enormous Great Dane. So, hopefully you know what you're getting in for there.
I found a new thing, Dad.
What?
That I want to turn into like the recurring bit instead of the flat Earth conspiracy. And I think you know what I'm gonna say. And if you don't want me to
instead of the
like instead of making fun of
I know, but I don't
flat Earth.
Yeah, I don't know what you're gonna say.
It would be about when you when you have a kid and they need to get.
There's nothing popping into my head here.
The vaccinations.
Oh yeah, I think flat Earth is much better.
All right, I think flat Earth is a better bit.
Let's see.
Michael
7, your question is answered in detail in Unseen Realm. So that's the best way I can answer that. Let's see here. Westy the White, I agree with about dachshunds, yeah. Here's somebody said, I always get Maury and Churchill mixed up.
How could you not?
Yeah. Let's see here.
I'm going to give Maury some props.
No, a new pug, Maury 2.0. Well, I don't know. Maury, that remains to be seen how much alike they are. Yeah. Is it a boy or a girl? It is a boy. The new pug is a boy. So Maury will have a brother. Mori doesn't. Well, I guess he knows now since we're talking about it. But
yeah, Mori some of his favorite refreshments.
yeah, I know. I'd like to have 3 or 4 pugs, but Dreena's not going to put up with that, at least right now. Now you're going to make him cold with the sodas. And what's the product placement here?
Diet Cherry Coke. When you drink it, you'll think, "Wow, this is objectively worse than Coke."
It's not very good. We're not getting that again.
It's not that it's bad. It's just
I'm
that
glad
it's way less good than every other option we have, to the point where drinking it is nothing but dissatisfaction.
Somebody commented on Fringe Pop 321. Yes, you're welcome.
Man, have the thumbnails changed for that yet?
I don't know. I know it's in the queue of things to do, but we're right around 4,000 subscribers.
Can you pay me to do the thumbnails instead?
We might be able to do that if Brian is if he's got too much on his plate, because there are other things. Yeah, make sure that doesn't tip.
Yeah, I'm making sure.
There are other things on his plate that I can't talk about here because they're not public yet, or it's inside baseball stuff. Will Angels be available on Audible? I don't know. It's Lexham's decision to decide if they want an audio version
and
for
who's
that.
going to read the audiobook version, huh?
They would hire somebody. That's up to them.
What if we were
here.
to do it independently?
We can't do it independently. I don't have rights to that.
We could have Mori read the audiobook.
All right. Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm gonna take a quick poll in the chat. Okay.
Oh boy, this ought to be good.
And I've already asked Dad this. I just find it amusing, so I'm gonna ask you guys. All right. Okay. So, Smog, right? You take Smog,
the dragon.
Yeah, Smog the dragon, and make him the size of Mori, or make Mori the size of Smog. Who would win in a fight?
That's terrifying.
Who would win, huh?
Mori the size of Smog.
Let me just get like Smog's lair pulled up so I can green screen Mori into it.
Let's see here. No, I don't think alien disclosure is imminent. I think they just need to string that along as long as possible. That's the Audible question. How old is Mori? Mori is 3.
I need a good angle of Smog's. There we go. Perfect.
Mori and for new listeners, Mori and I share a birthday. That was part of why we chose, why we went to see the litter Mori was part of. Is Mori the singularity?
Yes.
If he's not, he's pretty close.
Mori is the singular thing that I want in my life.
What's up, Rob?
Saving me?
Rob Rowe. Let's see here. Are we all excited for the Unseen Realm video game?
I am.
Well, if
it's gonna be garbage.
Again, since you have made the public statement, that forces me to make this statement. If we create a game that's based upon
please don't.
The content of Unseen Realm, I have to say that differently. If we make a video game, Rob, well, that's what he does. He knows what he's doing. That deals with that kind of content, it can't be a derivative from the book Unseen Realm.
Look,
because I do not have rights to that. So let's not be talking about the video game for Unseen Realm in any other forum. Say, Calvin, go ahead.
Look, Mori's sleeping in Smog's lair, and he's resting his chin on a bunch of coins.
What did you...
It's not a great effect because the towel's all like...
Well, it's good enough.
Texture.
There's Smog's coins, yeah, with Mori laying on him. That's pretty good.
Now, if only his cloak was also blue.
Right.
He would just disappear.
Cody, I'm glad you're enjoying I Dare You Not to Bore Me with the Bible. Let's see.
I would, however, like to make a comment on the prospect of
Derek,
video game adaptation of just
right.
Video
Well,
game...
we do not want to talk about that.
Okay, but
it should not even have been brought up.
Okay, but I'm still gonna say it.
Go ahead.
Anyway. And this isn't about that specifically. This is about just video game adaptations in a broad sense. Don't make them, because they rarely work, and they're always designed to just sell the original product.
Yeah,
So they are screwed from the start. Do not make like video game adaptations of movies, books, or anything like that, because 9 times out of 10 they're gonna be garbage, and no one's gonna like them.
Well, I'm not asking for one. This is somebody else's idea.
No,
and if that's created, we can certainly, help with that.
Like name one
Marketing
video game
whatnot.
adaptation that people remember.
Look,
They're like,
look,
wow, I really enjoy that.
Okay, for you and for everybody else in the live stream, I am not saying another word about the video game.
All right.
Okay. Like I said, I don't have rights to any of that, and it cannot be a derivative product from the book Unseen Realm. So, end of that. Let's see here.
The Witcher doesn't count because like The Witcher is like that country's only property that's worth anything. Like it's literally the only thing that they could draw from.
Smog would win because fire and diamond scales, dude. Okay, well, that's possible, but Mori's aim would be good, I guess. No, I think it's silly to presume that the wine Jesus made was non-alcoholic. There's no way to exegetically argue that. And yes, I've heard all the arguments, and honestly, they're kind of dumb. Totally unnecessary. Let's see here. Perhaps a tie. I've listened to some Peterson stuff. I'm still listening to it. It's going to take a long time because you can't do anything in under 2 hours. So it's going to take a long time to go through that. But hopefully by the end of the year, I will be through the stuff. I've made, put the stuff that I want to listen to in a folder. And I'm working through it now. Let's see here. What will the new pug puppy's name be?
Are we allowed to reveal that?
I don't know. I can't remember what Mom said. And since this is like the only episode where Mom isn't watching, we better hold off on that just in case.
That is a frightening thought. Here's Mori leading the Illuminati.
Look. The Watchman said he looks extremely bored. Mori looks bored. No.
Mori looks like Mori.
He is working on equations. This is what he does. Like his eyes will flicker a little bit. Kind of like rapid eye movement, but when he's awake.
It's like when you have like a power thought.
Right. He's solving equations now. He's doing calculus.
Mori's trying to figure out where to eat.
Where to eat. Other great thoughts.
Popeyes.
His eyes are like halfway now. He's fading. He's having an out of body experience.
Wait, Mori. Focus.
This is almost what he looked like when I was drafting the Pugnacious Pugs fantasy football team. That's my Naked Bible team, which is why I have a better record than Trey's team. Just thought I'd throw that out. If Trey loses today, his team's 0-3. They're not very good, but I had Mori, so I had an advantage. He was channeling picks for me. Let's see here. Oh, let's see. Was it fun making your commercial? It was. I mean, Calvin and Simi were there. My wife was there. Of course, Mori was there. We probably took a full hour just doing Mori takes.
I have so many great cell phone videos of that day.
Yeah, doing Mori takes. Because we got him out of the way first because we wanted to be able to take him home and have him wind down, do more important things with his day. And then it was probably another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, just doing stuff, with me. So it was actually a long day. It was pretty much like half a day just to get what is the thing? It's less than a minute long. Let's see here. But it was fun. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't I don't have a problem with watching ghosts, shows and stuff like that.
Most of them are fake.
I know, other than to say don't
like all of them.
Yeah. Basically the content is contrived. So unless it's like a Hollywood kind of thing where they're just making up a story, but by definition it's contrived. That kind of thing.
Like there are a lot of shows on TV that are very, very fake that people don't realize are fake. Mm-hmm. Like that Charles Styles show, Mystery Diners?
Yeah.
It was on the TV, and Mom was watching, and I walked by, And like there's an episode where like the plot of the episode is that like these guys in who work at this restaurant were like using restaurant property to like bake cookies and like sell them on the dark web or something extreme like that. But like the way it's set up and presented, like it's literally like a 3-act structure, and it's got some of the worst acting I've ever seen. And on top of that, both episodes we watched back to back were like 2 seasons apart, but they used the same extra for the culprit, so it was just the same culprit twice unintentionally. It's so bad.
Or intentionally.
It's so bad. It's awful.
Oh, let's see here. I gotta use. Let's see here.
Are people still talking about the alcohol thing in the chat?
Brandon, you really need to read Unseen Realm. I'm not going to go through the content of Unseen Realm on the PugCast, but
Mori could, but he's asleep right now.
Yeah.
There's so much dust in here.
Yeah, all right. Tiffany remembers we did drop the name a few months ago.
Right.
Norman is the name, so that's correct.
Named after Norman Osborn from the Harry Potter quadrilogy.
Oh, let's see.
He was named after Norman Osborn, and our next pug will be named
It's not.
Peter
No,
Parker.
it's not Norman. Peter Parker and Norman.
Peter
Osborn.
Parker will be his full name. You'll have to say Peter Parker, and then we'll come running.
I don't have an opinion of the book Judah's Scepter and Jacob's Birthright because I've never read it. I've actually never even heard of it. But this is a good place to say that. I'm trying to remember if I've said this on a podcast before or no. I know where I'm thinking of it. It's in my email disclaimer. I don't read anything that isn't peer reviewed. Nothing. Because it's just not a good use of my time. So I have very little time to actually read and research. So when I do, it has to be scholarly material, peer-reviewed material. I don't read anything popular. Now, I do listen to audiobooks, which is what I actually had this written down to ask the audience here. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and what I want to listen to is history, historical biography. Like I'm listening to a book now on the life of Nikola Tesla, which is really quite good. It's called Wizard. I recommend it. I read a book on the history of discovery of electricity a few months ago. One on Edison a few months ago. So now we're doing Tesla, and it's quite good. But anyway, that's a nice segue because a week from yesterday, we're going to be making a drive to get the new Pug, and our drive is going to be 5 hours or so. So I want to listen to audiobooks, but my wife is going along. Everybody's going along. So we had a discussion in the car today. We need to pick a book that's a story, fiction, because nobody wants to listen to the books I like to listen to. So do any of you have a good recommendation for either historical fiction that I could get on audible.com or some kind of like literary classic? Now, I've only got 5 hours of listening time, but they'd have 5 hours back. So if it's a book that's 10 hours or so, they could probably go through the whole thing. So if anybody has any recommendations, let's hear it. Calvin, did you have a recommendation?
I had one, but it was a joke.
Let's not listen to a novel.
One.
Nobody's going to want to listen to the Tesla book. I can guarantee that.
Well, what Tesla book?
The one I'm listening to now. So I've got like, it's 50 chapters. I'm only like 20 chapters in.
Yeah, but it's because every single time we're in the car with you and you're listening to an audiobook, like the narrator talks about some really messed up stuff from history.
Well,
and
it's
just
Tesla.
like this.
It's the discovery of electricity.
It's just this like really silent, awkward car ride where like the narrator is like describing like slavery in the 1700s.
That was because I was reading Frederick Douglass's biography listening to it. It's
because like it's just every time they're in the car with you, it's just something like profoundly depressing.
It's not depressing.
Frederick
Douglass's story was inspiring.
You should get like an audiobook on Van Gogh because
no, I'm not going to do that. That would be mind-numbing and depressing.
Van Gogh is the definition combination of mind-numbing and depressing.
Let's see.
That was really tragic. I would just recommend, you know what, Hank the Cow Dog, the complete series.
No, we're not doing anything now. No. If you were younger, we could do the Adventures in Odyssey again. But
Adventures in Odyssey is all right.
Oh, I know, but we have to come up with something.
Also, someone asked if I played the Spider-Man game on PS4. No, I haven't, because I don't have a PS4 and I don't want to play a Spider-Man game. It's
so I guess the answer is no.
Someone said, "Does that mean don't read or watch Ready Player One? Don't." And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Aaron has a question about casting lots. Well, that was the way they made decisions in the Old Testament as well. So they're just, they're using Old Testament methodology to discern the will of God. Yeah, we said a little bit about that in the podcast series on Acts, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the nature of the question is. Like, is that okay? Yeah, because that God endorsed that in the Old Testament. And they do it in the New, again, because they're going by the Old Testament tradition. Let's see here. Anybody remember the old song named Norman? Nope.
Literally, everyone is just suggesting books that are depressing. Someone's like, "Oh,
all right, I want to see
classified CIA documents."
Yeah, Pilgrim's Progress. That's an interesting. That's an interesting possibility. I don't think that's going to be the choice, but that's not an.
If you think Hollywood has a shelf life of 3 decades left, you are out of your mind.
Let's see it's not on audio, and they're not going to listen to any of mine. Let's see here. Yeah, I would agree on that assessment of Jordan Maxwell. By the way, it's just I still say William Henry is the king of non sequiturs, but Jordan Maxwell's not far behind. Let's see. Yeah, well, they're not going to do anything nonfiction like history of CIA and all that stuff. I mean, I've listened to a good bit of that. By the way, if you like history of espionage, I listened to I think it was within this year, the story of Agent Garbo, who was the double agent that was instrumental in the D-Day operation. That was quite a good book. Very, very interesting. And he was just quite a character. If you don't know anything about Garbo, you should look it up online. It's just you can't really describe how clever this guy was just talking about it. You really have to get into the details. Let's see here.
Okay. The reason I said that I don't think Hollywood's dying in 3 decades isn't because I like Hollywood. I don't care about Hollywood. Like, the only movies I think I've ever watched recently have been the Marvel movies. But to say it's got 3 decades left is, like I'd be happy if that's true, but I think that's nowhere near the case. Because, like, didn't they just very recently break like their like opening week box office record like twice? Like, people are still watching movies. It's not something that's decreasing. Like, internet content might be on the rise, but what people have to realize is that a lot of people who make money through Hollywood, a lot of people who make products in Hollywood, also have avenues that they make money from on the internet. Whether that's distributing their movies that are typically Hollywood releases or stuff like that. They're gonna live on throughout the internet era. Like, I highly doubt they've got 3 decades left.
Mori has faded. Do we want to wake him up?
Yeah.
See, okay. Here's a recommendation. The devil.
Like a cinnamon roll.
The Devil in the White City: A Saga of Magic and Murder at the Fair That Changed America. Okay, Dale, unpack that a little bit. What's it about? It sounds kind of. Both my wife and my daughter like true crime, stuff on TV. So that sounds like it might be an option, but I need to know what it's about. Let's see here. Oh, let's see. Boy, every time I touch this, it just goes too far. So I got to go back again here. There we are. You mean 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea? Watchmen? It's probably what you mean, Jules Verne.
You should just copy.
See, I would like that, but they don't like science fiction or anything like that. So if it would have been up to me, it would be like Poe or at the Mountains of Madness. Or
You should
something.
copy every
Lovecraft.
single YouTube Dad. You should copy every single YouTube comment you've ever received and put them in a text-to-speech generator, and then just listen to that.
No,
Just 10 hours of just straight YouTube
Thanks for
comments.
the torture. Yeah. Let's see here. Trader's Wife. What's that about, Robert? Yeah. That Westy the White. That's a nonfiction book. They're just, Yeah, Civil War by Shelby Foote. Again, they want to read they want to listen to fiction, but I actually have Shelby Foote's 3 volumes in my queue to listen to. That I'm quite sure that'll be excellent. Yeah, Art of War. It's nonfiction.
Look, he's standing, dude. He's standing.
Yeah, look, Mori can stand. But see now the camera's probably like not getting him all in there.
Trust me.
Because of the way it's tilted.
It's getting him perfect. Look at that. He's obscuring the chat.
Let's see here.
Okay, but like the big studios are finished. How are the big studios finished?
Okay, what's the Sympathizer about? I mean, I'm getting titles here, but I need you to unpack them a little bit. Let's see. Have I seen Dunkirk? Yes, I have.
I have as well.
We all saw it. We all liked it too.
Did you know that Christopher Nolan destroyed an actual World War II era plane for that movie?
Yeah, I heard that.
That is insane.
I'm surprised they let him do it.
Like they probably didn't let him do it. He probably just did it.
No, I have read and there's something here about fake D-Day site. That's not Dunkirk, and it's not anything else listed here. I'm trying to remember because I listened to a book on that too about the fake body that the Allies concocted. I mean, the body was real, but the fake identity to misdirect the Germans on D-Day. I can't remember what it was called. Operation. Boy, but it was good.
Truth Channel, like I'm sorry I keep coming back to this Hollywood thing. It just interests me, but it's like
Electricity and Murder. Story of the World. All right, Dale, is this a true story? Story of the World Fair in Chicago, 1890. Let's see here. 2 men, each handsome, unusually adept at his chosen work, combining element of the great dynamic characterized America's rush toward the 20th century. Oh man! All right, I just gotta go looking again for the comments here.
Okay, here's the thing, Truth Channel. I don't think that the average American is losing a taste for Hollywood celebrity culture, because maybe it might be on a slight decline, but I think it's still strong. And I don't think just because it might be in a down period means it's going to be down forever. Wasn't there just recently a fundraiser help Kylie Jenner become the world's youngest billionaire? People were voluntarily pledging money to her to get her to the 1 billion mark before she passed a certain age. People are still just infatuated with celebrities. And even if it's not Hollywood celebrities anymore, people are still very, very obsessive and
what are we
very
talking
interested
about? Hollywood?
in celebrities of a different sort. Online celebrities, people that might be smaller, but they're still celebrities, and people still obsess over them.
I'm going to look
it's
up.
It's just a different form of celebrity.
I'm going to look up Devil in the White City here on Audible. Let's see if they have it. See what they say here. 14 hours.
I don't willingly keep up with that kind of culture, but that kind of stuff just comes across, my recommended feeds and stuff like that all the time. And it's not even that I'm watching it either. I'm not really watching it that much. It's you click one video, and then your recommended is just nothing but garbage, right? I clicked on one top 10 video, and now my recommended is nothing but conspiracy theory videos about Queen Elizabeth. So stuff gets curated to me that I don't really want. But for instance, I know this doesn't really belong in the Hollywood conversation because it's a different country, but there's a huge YouTube channel that's booming right now. It's this channel called T-Series, and it's nothing but Indian celebrity culture. There's always going to be a huge market for it. Yeah, Mori Cam just died. Dad, I'm not sure why. I'm going to see what I can do about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'm reading this summary. They might be interested in that. Devil in the White City. I'm going to mark that. That sounds like something they might want to listen to, because again, they like true crime and all that stuff. All right, so that's not a bad recommendation. Let's get some more here. It's interesting because I'm at
Sullivan's in the chat.
the okay. Well, I just lost the feed here. How did I do that?
I don't know. It's magic.
Okay, I got it now. But it's interesting because the Columbian expedition is where I'm at in the Tesla book. So I know what that is. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Iron Dragons by Derek.
Release the Pug.
Oh, let's see here.
Properties.
World's Fair Hotel. Yeah, that.
All right.
That they probably like that. Again, I just want to listen to something that isn't static and news and so if I don't like it as much as they do, that's fine. But
hey, Dad, quick question.
What?
Can we make a commitment right now?
To?
Can we do the Discord voice chat next week, where we just talk to people from the Discord?
Look, I don't want it to turn into a Q&A.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
I
not
get that.
I'm not interested in that.
But Dad.
Yeah.
We promised them we would 1 week, and then we didn't.
We have done it before.
Yeah. We've done it once, but we said we would do it twice, and we've only done it once.
Oh, well, you're gonna get a committed maybe.
A committed maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna make it happen regardless.
Well, like I said, I'm not here to do Q&A. This is
it doesn't have to be
I want this to be
Q&A.
something of downtime for me too. Let's see here. Flags of Our Fathers is nonfiction. We're looking for fiction. Let's see here. Again, a lot of these are nonfiction things. So let's see here. I like nonfiction, but they want fiction. I read a lot of World War II. I read a lot of like history of science. Those are the two big areas for me. World War II stuff, both historical and espionage, and I like history of science stuff. Greatest Generation is something that would be on my list. Again, nonfiction.
Dad, you're going to see your name in the chat real quick. That's because I'm posting the Discord link. This Discord link will be valid for 1 day.
Yeah. Let's see here.
That's the wrong link.
Thank you, Melissa, for the congratulations. Susan, about the Red Fern Grows. We've all, Drina and I have seen the movie, and it's so depressing. So I think Drina would say no to that, listening to that, and Simi would probably be angry at the end. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, Mori Cam died, so I'm almost up here.
Luckily, our time's almost up, so Mori lasted through most of it.
All right, this question about Hebrew Matthew, go up to Google, put in drmsh.com, put in Hebrew New Testament or Aramaic Matthew or Hebrew Matthew, and you'll get my answer to that. There is no Hebrew Matthew. Well, everything that's passed off about like that is late. It's a translation of the Greek New Testament, or at least, some manuscript tradition of the Greek New Testament. There is no original Hebrew Matthew or Aramaic Matthew. Not a single fragment has ever been discovered of it. It makes sense that Matthew, could have written his gospel in Hebrew first, but there's just no evidence for it. As far as the New Testament, it makes no sense to have the bulk of the New Testament in any other language than Greek. But again, you can Google that and get some details for that. Let's see here. Now I got to go back again. Thunderstruck. Again, what is that about? It's the Sympathizer. 2016 Pulitzer Prize winner. Boy, might be a good story, but the Vietnam era, French Vietnam, just, I don't know. It doesn't sound interesting.
You never know if you don't read.
Yeah, I know, and it might be good, but.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Do we have a sponsor for today's episode?
Do I have a response for?
Do we have a sponsor for today's episode?
Oh.
Today's episode has been sponsored by Mori.
Yeah, well.
There we go.
Sponsored by whoever made that towel to prop his head up. Let's see here.
Sponsored by Audible. Audible stands for...
Is Mistwalker a game that... Somebody has Mistwalker, the Final Empire. It sounds like a game.
Probably a book, because you were talking about books.
Yeah. Let's see here. Washington Spies, again, it's nonfiction. That's not what they're looking for.
Oh.
And I that is on my list. That's in my queue for... I lost it again. For my own listening.
Your camera's shaking so much.
Well, I know that's because I have to do this with my thumb because.
I mean, I offered you a tripod.
No, I have to move the chat with my finger.
You know, I offered you a tripod.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is what we're doing now. So.
All right.
Let's see here.
I would say above all else.
It's funny. Christianity, Platonic, sun worship. There's a Jordan Maxwell, piece of nonsense for you. Well, let's see. Is Unseen Realm available in ebook or audio? Unseen Realm is available in audio. Just go up to Amazon and you can see that. The only other it's available in Kindle, and of course Logos format as well. Let's see here. Let's see here. Jurassic Park book. Yeah, everybody's seen the movie. They're not going to want to listen to the book. I have listened to the book, though. I know it's different. Let's see here. All right.
Shout out to Nostradamus arguing in the comments.
Danny Can. I used to read Alan Eckert, Frontiersman, other stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So far, that other suggestion is the one that I will ask them about. Thunderstruck, Murder and Marconi. You mean Marconi inventing? That Marconi, the inventor. Let me just see here. Let's see if they have that. Thunderstruck. Oh, same author here. I don't know. Is this a real story or what is this? Oh, it's historical fiction. Okay. All right. Well. All right. I'll mark this. Yeah, they may go for that. Who knows?
I love on the thumbnail for this stream. I just look extremely disappointed.
Okay. We have a Mori update.
All right. What's the Mori update?
The Mori update
He's unconscious?
Well, no, that's not much of an update.
That's just kind of the standard.
Mori last week had an ear problem, so we had to take him to the vet. So he's actually on an antibiotic and Benadryl. So that may account for his sluggishness, although he's normally sluggish.
He's inherently sluggish.
He's inherently sluggish.
If anything, it made him slightly less sluggish because he stood up once.
Yeah, you're right. He did.
The Discord chat is literally nothing but people asking to do a Q&A at some point.
Yeah, I know. That's just kind of what they do. So not surprising. And Armin is missing.
Yeah, we actually don't know where he is.
Right. We suspect there's a good possibility that Armin is dead because he's never disappeared and been away from home this long. So that probably happened. Well, it did happen when we were in D.C.
Yeah.
So it's been...
Sadie scared him away or something. I don't know.
It's been almost 2 weeks. Week and a half. 2 weeks. So...
Well, he's been gone for 4 or 5 days before. Or something
yeah, I know. But this is the longest ever. So we're thinking he either got hit by a car or hopefully the coyotes didn't get him. But that would be terrible. But, I guess hit by a car is not much better. I have read Sphere science fiction. I liked it, but they're not going to like it. They don't like science fiction. They're not going to like military stuff like SEAL Team. Yeah, Vic, hope you enjoy the book. Let's see. Is it difficult to get him to take his pills? Yes, it is. We can mix it in food. And
they get lost in the folds every time.
No. Yeah, lost in his face folds.
It just
like this morning, we put these little pills in his food, and it's like they have this miraculous ability of eating the food and not getting the pills. He spits them out.
Mori's good at that.
So I know he is. So we more or less have to just put it in ourselves and make sure he swallows it.
Yeah.
So.
Let me see. I like how every time I read the chat, my face just gets close to the camera until it's like taking up the entire side.
Yeah, that's a very poor pun, Peter. I saw your pun there. You were probably driven to that by the task you described. Oh, let's see here.
Someone says put the pills in peanut butter.
Yeah.
No. Maybe.
Well, I mean, we'll try that. That has me wondering if we tried that before, and maybe it was Atticus that
do
kept
dogs
spitting
really like
them out.
peanut butter?
Mori will eat it. Yeah, he'll eat it.
What won't Mori eat other than peppers?
Yeah, I've never read anything by Ted Decker, so I don't know. I've seen one movie based on a Ted Decker novel that was a big disappointment. So that
movie?
The movie for the book called 3, which I thought had a really dumb ending.
How bad was it? How bad was the ending?
Well, I don't know. I just felt like he took the easy way out and kind of
like a cop out ending.
Yeah, it lacked imagination for the ending, but I think that was an early Decker novel, so the other stuff might be better, but I just haven't read any more. Yeah, pills and peanut butter.
A pill shooter.
Who has a pill shooter? I've had to use a pill shooter with my cat.
Get a new cat.
Is it like a syringe? Is that Bexley Mike? Is it like a syringe?
I was picturing more of like a long range slingshot.
You just prop him up and just start shooting stuff at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little pill pockets made from the vet made of chicken and peanut butter. Okay, that's interesting.
Pill pockets. That's interesting. Wrap in American cheese. So it's just like Trojan horse.
Yeah, American cheese isn't bad. That's not a bad idea. So. Yeah. All right, these are good ideas.
Well, Maury's hearing all of them.
I have to crush my dog's pills and put them in whipped cream. Yeah. That's what I thought we were gonna have to do this morning. Crush them up and then
put them in something else.
Try to do something with them. But we got them in there. So. Yeah.
So what else have we been doing since last stream?
So we got the Armin update. We got the Maury's Ears update. I've asked what to read or listen to on the road. I'm now through the notes that everybody I've asked to read the discipleship book have made. We still have a couple chapters to read here at home, but that's basically gone through the what editorial process I have, and then I'm going to ask somebody to proof it again. I've already had it proofed once, but I'd still like another set of eyes to go over the thing. So that's definitely going to be out by Thanksgiving. And let's see, what other note did I make here? Oh, I'm also going through translations for what will be an edited volume by me. I think I've mentioned this before, but years ago, probably, I don't know, 4 years ago, maybe even longer, I asked somebody to translate some German articles on the Anunnaki, and then I put the translations just out for free on the web. I've now had those articles retranslated by a German national, a native speaker, and I was able to procure a 4th article. So I now have the 4 articles, scholarly articles on the Anunnaki that exist, translated again by a native speaker, and I'm going through her translations and making sure that the transliteration of the cuneiform stuff in those articles is accurate with the original published articles. And then I'm gonna add some commentary on my own, but I'm gonna publish the translations as an edited volume. So it'll be unique. It'll be the only academic, the only scholarly treatment in English of the Anunnaki. So that will be out as well by Christmas. So that just takes a little bit of grunt work now that the translations are done. Yeah.
Something from Brandon Tyler I want to ask you about.
Yeah.
He says, since you're working with a game team, do you see a future for serious Christian and Bible-based games? I just want to know, are you actually working with a game team?
I'm not working with a game team. It's that Rob, the Rob Rowe here does game design, and he proposed the idea of having a game for that content.
All right.
So that's all I can tell you. That's where it's at.
I would like to suggest this though. Can anyone in the chat name any Christian focused video game that hasn't been turned into a meme sheerly out of how poorly it was made?
Yeah, I don't even know if there are Christian games. But
there are,
I'm
and
sure
they all
has
suck.
to be. No.
The only one that isn't awful is I don't remember what it's called, but it's like an isometric, not isometric. Sorry, it's like a Doom style shooter where you just run around with a sword and it shoots
I have to
light at
assume
people.
If Rob designs games, he knows how to design games. So
I'm just skeptical about any Bible video game.
Yeah. Let's see here. How's the Paranormal podcast going? We're going to be recording. That date got changed. We were going to be recording our next episode next week, but we've had to move that. I don't think we have a new date picked out yet. We're going to do something on Samhain, which is the Celtic festival that is the backdrop for Halloween as we think of it. But we want to have that up, for Halloween, obviously. So we'll figure out a date for that. I'm not gonna comment on the astrology question since I'm writing a whole book on that. Let's see here. I use cheese. Pinch around the pill. So Derek and Danny both use cheese. Okay.
Well,
let's see.
I'm proud of them.
Soft cheese works better. Okay.
Yeah. Well. I'm not talking about like a game can use some Christian ideas and maybe work them into design of characters or something like that and be good. I'm more or less referring to games that have an explicit, not even just Christians, just an explicit religious message, and one of the rules of the game is to convey that. Because and I know the word propaganda has negative connotations, I think for a good reason, but most propaganda games, whether it's religious propaganda games or games that PETA's made or whatever, they're made first and foremost to convey a message and not to actually function like a game should. So, which is why I'm very skeptical about any kind of religious or any kind of game that's specifically made to cater to a religious audience. That's why I'm skeptical.
I don't think it necessarily has to be overt or explicit.
Yeah. Well, it's fine if it's not.
It needs to be set. I mean, I would agree. It needs to be set in good story form, which I think, in terms of my content, would not be hard. But I think that's important. Let's see here. Wow, there are a whole lot more than one reference to the divine man motif in the Old Testament. So best I can tell you to do there is get some Bible software and search for that. There's a bunch of them. There are whole monographs written on that, scholarly books written on divine man motif. Band of Brothers, my wife and I have watched that on HBO. I don't think they're going to want to do...
Mori, stop.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to want to do the war stuff. Let's see here.
Okay, I want to just another thing from Brandon Taylor, but what about the mainstream anti-Christian propaganda in the media in general? A controversial opinion here.
I don't think the lack of a religious message is indicative of an anti-religious message, because you don't see a lot of mainstream movies like, oh, screw Christianity, and then gain success on merit that they're anti that.
Yeah.
Like
they tend to be unpopular.
Yeah, well, I mean, religious movies tend to be unpopular, but a movie that
No, I'm talking about really anti-movies.
Yeah,
because
like there aren't lots of like believe it or not, when even people who don't believe in this kind of thing, when atheists see a movie that's overtly atheist and the whole point of the movie is to convey that message, if they're rational people, which, you know, because
SATS says there's a Japanese game based on Christian ideas. It's very good. What's the title of it?
Well, apparently he couldn't even remember.
Well, no, I'm going to ask him what the title of it was.
But what I'm saying earlier is, like, just because something doesn't convey a religious message doesn't mean that it's anti that. Like, name one popular movie that set out to, like, disprove Christianity and was praised as a result of it being anti-Christianity. Like, the closest I can think of would maybe be, like, I don't know, a documentary about evolution. But there are a lot of religious people, I assume, who could watch that and maybe fit it into their worldview. I wouldn't even consider that explicitly anti-religious. Like, things don't get popular in the secular world on the merit that they're anti-religion. Like, that just doesn't happen.
Yeah. SATS says it was made for the NES, but I don't know what that is, but was banned in the U.S. What's the title of it? Let's see here. Oh, let's see. There was something in here that... let me see here.
Trivia games
WAR, I'm not sure what you mean by restoration there.
Trivia games are not good games, bottom line. That's all I have to say about that.
Let's see here. We got to get going here
Japanese
soon, too, because if you're going to go to your
game.
friend's house. Let's see here. It may be Shin Megami Tensei, but that's explicitly a Gnostic series. That's Brandon proposing a title. That's not SATS, the one who brought it up.
I'm sure SATS is.
Chaos Tamer says El Shaddai, Ascension of the Metatron. Was that it? Or? Well, we'll let SATS tell us. He's the one who brought it up.
When I look up Shin Megami Tensei, I can't.
NES, Nintendo Entertainment. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's the NES is, but.
All right. Well, we need to get going anyway. It's been an hour.
Yeah, but Brendan, Deadpool 2, like, is just one movie.
I want to see if there's anything else that I.
And the whole point of Deadpool is to kind of be, like, out there and kind of offensive, right? Like, I'm sure there are lots of, like, points brought up in Deadpool that the people who made the movie wouldn't agree with, because it's part of the character. Like the Marvel character Deadpool, one of the traits, one of the things that that's gonna happen when you pick up a Deadpool comic or the Deadpool games or anything like that, like it's going to be in your face and to some extent offensive, but it's not always doing that out of a genuine belief or disbelief in something. That's just how the character is. That's how Ryan Reynolds might have envisioned this. I'm not sure if there's, like, really insane anti-religious propaganda in it, but most people are just going to see that and just think, well, whatever. Because people don't need their religious views, whether it's anti or for religion, reaffirmed by every movie they see.
Yeah, Jeff says most important thing about making a video game is the story. I agree entirely. Somebody said something about my dad. My dad is not in as much pain, but he is not doing well. He's not in good shape. He still really can't hold down anything that he eats. So his weight. One of the reasons we went out to DC, we took a day to drive to Delaware where they live. There were 8 of us, so that he could see everybody. Was for that purpose. But he, his weight loss has been pretty dramatic. So, yeah, that's the thing to pray for, that he would be able to eat and hold things down and regain some weight. Because if he doesn't, then, he's just going to go downhill rapidly if he just can't maintain, just general health because of that. So, all right, Calvin, let's shut this down. It's been an hour.
All right.
You want to go over to?
It's been almost an hour and 10 minutes, actually.
Yeah. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. And again, it'll be for the new pug. It's going to be at least a week and a half because I will not be back on the weekend evening, a week from today, because I have to stay where we're going a couple extra days. But anyway, next time that you see us, we will have the new pug, and you're gonna love the unveiling.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Also, before we leave,
Yeah.
I want to end this how we began it.
Get Mori up.
Maury, wake up.
Mori, we need you. Look at how woke he is. He is awoken. Kaiser Jr.